I'm going to get this out of the way, Caleb. Today's tough question is not about me. It's not about the fact that I have a book signing Friday afternoon with Celebrate 98, the untold stories behind the 1998 Tennessee National Championship Vols. That is not what it's about. But we would love you to join us at 3 to 6 from Hound Dogs, where Fred White and I will have a signing there, which is next to Cedar Springs Baptist Church on Kingston Pike. We will be there from 3 to 6 signing books, so looking forward to that. It's not about that, Caleb. It's not about me. You know this is not about me. This entire endeavor is not about me. Here's today's tough question brought to you by Andy Mason Real Estate. And again, not about me. But this week, called Champions Week, is it disrespectful to the 1998 National Championship team for it just to not be called the 98 Champions Week? This is some sort of champions conglomeration that I guess is going to salute the 2001 SEC East Division champions as well. I don't know who all they're celebrating, but they're going to celebrate all kinds of teams, and I think other sports as well. I think it's neat. I think this would be a good annual tradition if you wanted to, but you don't have Champions Weekend unless this is 25 years after Tennessee goes 13-0 and wins a national title in the most important sport at the University of Tennessee, and that's football. So to call it anything else, and I guess they thought I had Celebrate 98 trademarked, which I do. So to call it anything else, Caleb, to me is a little bit disrespectful to the 98 team. And I've talked to some guys on the 98 team, and they're having their own get-together around Texas A&M, and they're going to do the school university function thing today, as a matter of fact, and into the weekend. But is it disrespectful for it to just not be about the 98 football team?
Yes. Now let's clear up what this actually is. So this is actually, to be fair, their second annual Champions Weekend, and they celebrate champion milestones. So anybody that's won a championship, the 10-year anniversary, the 20-year anniversary, 25, 30, 40, 50 of anybody that won a championship. And it's SEC or national. I'm with you. I'm fine with it with an annual Champions Weekend. But you need a weekend that solely, for football season, that solely acknowledges the 1998 National Championship team from 25 years ago. Okay? Now, if you want to just acknowledge national champions from Champions Weekend with 10, 20, 25, 50, I'm fine with that. But quite honestly, Dave, this is disrespectful not just to the 98 football team, but think the women's basketball team, 97-98, that went 39-0. They have to share this with the 2002-2003 women's basketball team that was SEC regular season champions. Now, no disrespect for that 2002-2003 women's team, but should they deserve to share the same court or field as the 97-98 women's basketball team that's hailed as the greatest team of all time?
No, and shouldn't that celebration be during a Lady Vols basketball game?
Exactly.
I mean, this is a football event, and if you want to do a Champions Week in the 24th and 26th anniversary of these teams, and your thoughts on the message board, and we'll get to them, like and subscribe. If you want to do that on those years and you want to include all champions, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But this one in particular is the 25th anniversary of the 1998 National Championship team. It should be all about them. They should be able to run through the T if they want to. It just simply does not happen. It didn't happen in 47 years, going back to 1951. That's not the modern era of college football, nor the modern era of college athletics. So give me any two championships of any sport. You can go track, you can go women's basketball. You can't go men's basketball unless you want to talk about like winning the SEC East regular season. You can go any other sport. You give me two champions that you would trade for this one championship, 13-0, 1998 National Championship team. There aren't two that even compare to this one.
There aren't 10. This championship, 1998.
It sounds crazy like you said that for effect, but it's really the truth.
It's the most important championship Tennessee's ever won in any sport. And it outweighs every other championship combined. Okay. It's not close, guys. It's not, you're right. Now, yes, Tennessee fans, the old timers, like, no, we're 6-time national champs. 1938, 1940, 1950, 1951, and 1967. 67 was retroactive. The other 4, as you said, were before the modern era. So let's put it this way, Dave. No championship pre-integration outweighs championships post-integration. Do we agree on that?
I would agree on that.
Like, not even close. Massive asterisk pre-integration. And so the 98 championship outweighs the other 5 Tennessee football national championships. It's the most important championship in the university's history. They deserve a weekend to themselves. And you're right, particularly for football season. They should get a weekend to themselves I think they did get one on the 10-year anniversary. I hope they got one on the 20-year anniversary. They should get one on the 25, on the 30, on the 40, on the 50, and just the 98 team. Nobody else. They deserve that much, okay? I do know this. In 2005, you were probably covering it. It was funny, Tennessee lost to Georgia that day. But it was the day Tennessee lost to Georgia in 2005. They welcomed back the 85 team by themselves. They didn't welcome back the 65 team or the 35 team or the 45 team. No, it was the 85 team. That team didn't even win a national title. And they were welcomed back because of what they accomplished. The 98 team should get a weekend to themselves every 5 years, I would almost say, because of this.
I agree. And here's what I think, Caleb. I believe that there's a separation from the past on purpose, that this program wants to be seen as new and innovative and different and not just the traditional aid program that it was before. And I think Philip Fulmer's role as athletic director is a factor in that. I think they want to distance themselves from that. And Philip Fulmer probably wants to distance himself from that as well. It was not his greatest time at the helm. We can both agree with that. And I feel like every time I see a record put out by Tennessee in their sports information department, it's kind of a little bit with a caveat. We had one come up last week, didn't we? Where we had the longest run in by a quarterback in Tennessee football history when it was Joe Milton going 81 yards. Well, technically, if you go back to a totally different offense, you could say Hank Laricella, right? I mean, there was a gray area there that wasn't pointed out in the release by the University of Tennessee. I believe firmly, and I can tell you the players believe this, the former players from the 98 team, they believe this school is ready to move on without them. And I think this is just another indication of that. So it should be the 98 championship celebration. They should be able to run through the T. And I'll add something else that I've said for a number of years. You win a championship at a school, you should have a statue. Philip Fulmer should have a statue regardless of what happened as AD. The statue should have already been up. He should have a statue just like Robert Neyland, the general at the University of Tennessee at Neyland Stadium. Period. End of discussion. I feel very strongly about that.
Well, Neyland does have a statue, but yeah.
Neyland does. I'm saying Fulmer should just like Neyland.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, Alabama does that. Every Alabama coach has a statue, and they've had more coaches win national titles than Tennessee has. I mean, Gene Stallings has a statue for that 1 year in 92. And I'm with you. You should win. Whatever you think about Fulmer, he did win a national title. Now, you want to make statues for other reasons? Fine, but national titles put you in a certain level of lore. And Tennessee should absolutely, the 98 team should be getting more respect than they get. I think, look, but Tennessee has a habit of not doing well with honoring certain team success relative to individuals. And what I mean by that is they'll sometimes honor players from a little more from less successful teams. And I'm not mentioning Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning was just was the best, is in the conversation for best of all time at his position. But Dave, I'll give you one. Like, let's just throw these two out. He was better raw talent, but Leonard Little versus Sean Ellis. I feel like Leonard Little's more beloved than Sean Ellis, but Sean Ellis was as productive at Tennessee as Leonard Little was.
Well, there's a reason partly because of that, because Leonard Little was playing middle linebacker, which nobody can explain to me still to this very day. Let's turn to
Fair enough,
basketball.
but Sean Ellis was also better in the NFL than Leonard Little was. Even though Leonard Little was good, Ellis actually had a better NFL career, slightly.
Leonard Little
Made more
also
Pro
had
Bowls.
but Leonard Little also had some serious issues with the driving thing. So
Okay.
I mean, that's a factor. I think he was suspended for a number of games, and that so there were a lot of issues going on there. I like seeing right there that Jesse says, "Go Cox." Here we go. We've gotten a lot of South Carolina fans, and we enjoy that. Robert says, "Good morning, Vol Nation." SC Scout guy says the Tennessee 2021 cheerleading squad won the national championship. I hope they honor them. Thank you. I appreciate that from a South Carolina fan who's saying, "Man, they deserve their own weekend," and they do, and they're going to have it themselves privately for the A&M weekend. And that's something they're going to do for themselves. I asked Philip Fulmer on our podcast, and that's brought to you by Tennessee Cider Company, the original cider of the Smoky Mountains. Use the promo code HAT to receive some free swag with that order, available most anywhere in the United States. I asked him if I could be invited to the team only functions to celebrate 98, and I got a negative. I got a stiff arm right to the face mask. That wasn't happening.